Guys, I thought it was going to be interesting to talk with Emily Bro again because we had some lunch earlier, and on the way to lunch we were talking about the different types of work that she's been doing since she's been here in Barcelona. Do you say Barcelona or Barcelona?
Depends who I'm talking to.
Okay, so is Barcelona for Spaniards?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're not a Spaniard you should say it with a C. Barcelona. Anyway, so we were chatting just before lunch about the different types of work that Emily's been doing since she's been here for the past 3 years, and I thought it was really interesting because some of that work was not teaching English, was it?
No, it's true. There's a lot of different ways to make a living here in Barcelona, especially being an English speaker, even if that doesn't mean that you're an English teacher. So I babysit a lot. I kind of act like a nanny for a family. So I go to their house in the morning, I wake the children up, do breakfast, and I walk them to school. And it's a great because I am kind of like part of the family now with them, and you make pretty good money off of it. So just babysitting alone basically covers my rent every month.
Wow.
And yeah, they are kind of doing two things at once. So they need someone to help with the kids, and they also want their kids to practice English, and so I fill both of those roles. So they really enjoy it for that. And there's a lot of opportunities like that in the morning, at lunchtime. Because of the Spanish schedule, they have a 2-hour lunch break, and so a lot of families will pay for someone to pick the children up from school at 1 o'clock, bring them home, heat up lunch, and give the kids lunch, speak English, play games, and bring them back to school.
And that's the siesta, right? 1 p.m.
Yeah.
to 3 p.m.
Most people don't
Yeah.
actually sleep during that time, but they use it for other activities.
Yeah, I would sleep if it was me.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to hear that a lot of Spaniards don't actually sleep during the siesta.
At least in Barcelona.
Oh, okay. And what time is it in the morning you have to be there for babysitting?
I go to their house for 7:30
7:30
So-
till when?
till 9.
And that's Monday to Friday, right?
Yep.
Right, awesome. And the main thing for them is, because they could get anyone to babysit, but they want an English speaker, right?
Right. So I never prepare lessons to do with the kids, but just practicing everyday things, like talking to them about waking up and making breakfast and just what classes they're doing at school. Sometimes we'll read an English book together. I've bought them a couple Dr. Seuss books and different stuff like that. But I never have to prepare a lesson and show up with a lesson for the kids.
That's awesome. That sounds really interesting, and
Yeah.
especially if you love kids, right? What are the age of the
Yeah.
kids?
They are, this year, they will be 4, 8, and 10. All
Right.
boys.
Okay, so 4, 8 and 10. Well, I've got 5 kids myself, and I've got a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old, and an 11-year-old. So I know what it's like dealing with. You're definitely getting some good training for maybe later in your life.
Maybe.
So the other thing I was going to ask you about was the other types of work that you do, because you mentioned about the summer camp, you do
Right.
some summer camp work, right?
Yeah, so there are a lot of summer camps in Barcelona, especially English-speaking ones, which a lot of teachers tend to do because classes go down dramatically in the summer months. My summer camp is run by the same academy that I work at during the year, so I just stay with the company all year long. But a lot of other ones, the academies normally finish around the end of June, and then summer camps will happen during July and I think sometimes August. So it kind of helps to fill in the gap if you don't have classes.
Yeah, because normally in August you've not got much work on, right?
Exactly.
So what are these summer camps like? That's something I didn't ask you earlier, but what is it like? Is it hard work? Is it
It is exhausting,
Oh, right,
especially
okay.
in the heat here,
right?
but it's my favorite time of year.
Oh,
My
okay.
camp that I work at is just a day camp, so the kids come in the morning, they have an English lesson, and then they basically have sort of like a gym class to kind of get their energy out,
Okay.
and then another class that is based on a theme. So this year our theme was superheroes, and so they did a lot of learning to draw comics and making comic books or flip books, things like that. But it always rotates on the theme. But there are also a lot of summer camps here where the kids go away. So they take all of the kids and go to a mountain house for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And that's another popular option.
Wow, so did you get a bit of a holiday at the same time?
I don't know. If
No?
the kids are there, I don't know if it's much of a holiday.
So what are some of the other types of work you mentioned about au pairs, right?
Yeah.
Au pairs.
Yeah, because people have such long holidays in Spain, they typically get 3 to 4 weeks. A lot of people will hire someone to watch the kids, or if it's during July when the parents aren't on holiday, the school's finished but the parents don't have their vacation yet, they need somebody to be with the kids. So you can find some live-in situations where basically your accommodation will be covered, your food will be covered, and then you're watching the kids in the hours that the parents are working.
And again, they want that English speaker.
Yeah, because it's covering two things at once, someone to watch the kids and also someone to practice English with them. So if they can find one person for both of those, makes sense.
Okay, so we talked about the jobs that are kind of not directly teaching English. Then we spoke about earlier about how you're teaching at an academy, so it's like a language centre, right?
Exactly.
And then you've also got some private students. Or you don't actually right now?
No, currently I'm just at the academy, but it is another option, private students. There's some you can find through different websites, or you can essentially work for a company that private students contact, and then you get sent to each of the private students. So there's both of those options.
But the disadvantage to that is, well, the advantage is that it's more money per hour,
more
right?
Money. You have more flexibility because you can say, I only want to teach in the morning, or only in the afternoon, or only in this general area of the city. But you do get cancellations quite a bit, which is...
Yeah. So that's why you don't do it, right? Because you can't be bothered with the cancellations.
I also just love where I work.
Right. Awesome.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And there was one other thing. Oh yeah. So most of the time people mix and match then, right?
Yeah.
They're mixing and matching private students,
Exactly.
working for a language centre. I mean, you're doing babysitting in the mornings and language centre. And you also did a little bit of teaching online, right?
Yeah, which is really becoming way more popular. There's a lot of companies based in China, and it actually works out really well from Spain. The company that I have worked for in the past only hire people from the United States and Canada. And
Gotcha.
so, but looking at the time differences, if you were doing it from the East Coast of the United States, you would have to be waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning to get the prime time classes.
Gotcha.
But for me being here, they're more at like 10, 11, 12 midday. So it actually works out really well if you want to teach online to China. It works out really well being in Europe.
It's quite high paid as well per hour, isn't it?
Yeah, you can get about $10 to $12 for every class, and the classes are 25 minutes.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
That's
it comes
awesome.
out quite well.
So there's all the different things that you can do while you're living in Spain. We've got Emily Bro as an example of all these different things that you can do. And yeah, so just wanted to give you a little bit more information there because we're having a chat at lunchtime, and I thought, hey, this should be valuable for you guys to know that it's not always bog standard working in a language centre, and also there's private students, and all these options are available to you. Like, you get help to find this type of work when you arrive here in Barcelona, so if you want to do any of these things, there's websites and you'll get guidance, and it's all given to you. So you just need to be good at applying to these things. You need to actually make you look attractive and to employers with like your experience and what you've done and how you present yourself and stuff, right?
I think so.
So it's not as easy as just applying to something and you'll get it. You have to actually be good at getting the job. All right, well, thank you. Well, thank you very much, Emily, for taking time in this lovely, sunny, hot Barcelona sun. She's getting sunburnt. I'm already look sunburnt because I've got ginger hair. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.